for 3 molar, or the wide one is for the molar. When depends how long your clinical crown is, or how deep your gingival floor is apically. Accordingly, you choose one of them. Or sometimes you need just to take a pair of scissors, just clip this wing from here, any place that is necessary, or make it a little bit shorter so it comes to the criteria that we talk about it. Now I have chosen this one over here. Now before I place that into the retainer, usually what I do, I get either burnisher or I get large spoon excavator. Just I go over here and burnish it. As I burnish it, you can see this become rounded, correct? Just I burnish it, I form this one. Now, if I fold this one, you can see this is a small circumference, and the other side is a large circumference. I know that a small circumference should be toward the gum. Am I right? And also, I know that this open end should be toward the gum. And also, I know on the lower left side of in the lower right side of the tooth, the flat surface should be toward the buccal surface. You can see when flat surface is toward the buccal surface, the open end is toward the gum. Am I right? That makes sense to you? Mm-hmm. Now, if I go to the other side, if I go in the other side, you can see the plunger side comes toward the surface, correct? So the rules, now you know, in the upper right, lower left, the plunger side. In the upper left, on the upper left and lower right, the flat side. You can see now the open side. Now, if I want to set this one, what I do, I bring this one, you can see by turning that one, this comes all the way up. Correct? This is the large knob. Now I know that a small circumferences should be toward the gum. I know this should be toward the gum. So, because of that two equation, a small circumference should be toward the open side of the head, correct? Now I place this one. I know that this side is going toward the gum. So you can see I bring it nicely together, open this one. I know that, you can see if I take that one and place it over here, everything is correct. Am I right? Why not? Can you see it now? Simo, I cannot make you happy, can I? Can you see that one? So, now I tighten this one. You can see when I tighten it, I hold this one down nicely. I don't want halfway to be pushed down. I tighten, really, I tighten this one nicely, correct? Now, this is ready. The next thing that I have to do, I have to try my wedge to be which wedge is satisfy the requirement that I talk. I want to have a good sit. First of all, always use your plier if you want to take something from the box or something, because you are going to use this thing on the patient as well. Am I right? Don't put your hand inside of it. So take a wedge and I try it and see what I get. Now the wedge should be placed the base down. You place it. Whenever you want to push wedge in the patient, always you get this side of it and push that one through, correct? Now, the wedge is the tightest when it is halfway through. Now, this is basically halfway through. If your wedge goes all the way to this side, probably is a small wedge. Or if it does not go, or just go 1/3 of it goes inside, then probably it's too big. So you have to be sure. Now let's evaluate this wedge. Now I can see the relation of the wedge. The relation of the wedge with the gingival cavus surface margin. Let's see over here. Now when I look at this one, now I can see my wedge is tight around here, correct? Is nicely tight around here. I have a good seal. Can you see that one over here? Can you see that one? I have a nice seal all around this area, and the opening of the wedge just come right to my gingival cavus surface margin, correct? So I know that this is a very good wedge. So I remove that one. If I have a MOD, do you have a pen? If there is a MOD, just I write over here M, I write over here D, so when I remove the wedge out, I know exactly where I'm going to place it. Now I have no problem here, because I'm not going to place a wedge in the other side now. The reason I don't place it because there's no adjacent tooth, otherwise I have to do the same thing for both sides. Are you with me? Okay, now I place my it around the tooth, and now I look at it. It is about 1.5 millimeter above the adjacent tooth, marginal ridge. Can you see that one? And I place my finger over here. Let me do it correctly. I place it over here and tighten this one. I want the head of this one to be right in the center of the tooth structure. I place that one over here. I tighten it as much as possible. Can you see that one? I tighten that one. I check it again. Yeah, this is exactly 1.5 millimeter above the adjacent marginal ridge, correct? I tighten that one. And then I said I turn it about a quarter round. I'm on right counterclockwise. That's it. And I tell you why. Then I place my wedge in place. Now I know this wedge nicely fit exactly where I want to fit, correct? I place my wedge. Halfway has to go through. When I place my wedge, the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to check this cavus surface margin. You can see I place it over here and push it. Can you see that one? I just don't place it over here and look at it. I place it over here and nicely push it to see if there is a slight opening. Then I'm not going to place amalgam until I correct that one, correct? The second thing that I do, you can see if I look at that one, this is convex. So I place the tip of that one on gingival floor, and just I go over here and burnish to the adjacent tooth. When I burnish it, you can see, I don't know if you can see, on the matrix band, I can see a dimple right at the contact area, correct? And now I'm ready to place my amalgam restoration here, correct? Now, when I place amalgam restoration, the marginal ridge of this amalgam should be exactly the same as marginal ridge in this side, correct? As I'm condensing over here and my amalgam come over here, I just keep looking at this marginal ridge and over here, and sometimes I measure it. And then I bring that one right over here. Can you see that one? I measure it to be sure that I remove enough amalgam so I establish my marginal ridge in amalgam exactly at the same level that this one it is. Just I pick on it and see how it is. I remove it enough until I am in that level. I'm going to talk about it next week, about when we are talking about the condensing and carving amalgam. Any question about this? Everybody understand? Okay. Now, what I want you to do is the one that have not finished your amalgam restoration,